This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids.
What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the changes that YouTube have been having. Been sitting and watching different opinions, listening to rants, of course, go on, and reading a little bit about what's happening with YouTube. And I was one of those people who got that letter. If you don't know what that letter is, basically YouTube sent a letter to everyone who was either an MCN affiliate, or a direct YouTube partner, that starting on February 20th, they will lose their YouTube partnership because records indicate that they haven't been able to garner at least 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours of watch time within a 12-month period. Sorry, I'm kind of sick, so I'm really fumbling my words today, as more so than normal. But so if you didn't reach those thresholds within the last 12 months, you were out. They considered this letter a 30-day notice for you, which seemed kind of shocking in a little way for me, but in a major way for a lot of people, because who knew this was coming? And if you're someone like me who's over the last couple of years hasn't been able to do YouTube as frequently as I used to, even though I still like making videos, and I don't make money at all from this. In truth, I've probably made, if I've made like more than $1,500 in the 4 or 5 years that I've done this on and off, I'd be surprised, because I've always done YouTube more so as like, it is a nice, I would say, dream job, but as something that I just enjoy doing on the side to express myself, give my opinions, and things like that. I haven't really taken YouTube serious. Honestly, I can say since my mom died, I haven't taken it serious, because that year, it was an eventful year altogether that year, and that changed a lot in my life, to where YouTube became less and less of a priority, and as things have gone on, personal issues, what have you, YouTube has been less and less of a priority. So for me, it's not as jarring as others. It's a little disappointing, I would say, because there is some pride to having a partnership. The fact that I'm able to get monetization on my videos, things like that, shows that I feel like I worked towards that and was able to get it. Of course, I got my original partnership from an MCM. A friend of mine's at the time, he was partnered to RPM, and he sent me a request from him, and I went ahead and filled it out, thinking whatever. At that time, I think I had like a couple of hundred subscribers, maybe less than that. But they gave me the partnership, and I was like, okay, I'll take this. That's cool, because it opens up tools for you, and I use those, and I got like over a year and a half period to about 1,500 to 3,000, but of course that slowly dropped since one, YouTube started purging accounts for people who weren't always using them, and two, there's been like drops in subscriber rates for people, because it's just like randomly people would get unsubscribed from YouTube, and things like that. Their algorithms were doing things that kind of hurt smaller people more than it hurt bigger people, because the smaller people were trying to get to that level of the bigger person, and losing a sub count as a small person is not cool. I can tell you that. But in any event, now what you have to do is you have to have had 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers within a year. If you haven't had that between now and February 20th, you're out of here. And you have to have both, not just one, both. And again, someone like me who's like super slow and hasn't been as vigorous with my YouTube content, I'm out. But there's a lot of people who have been constantly uploading, who get pretty decent views, don't have a high growth rate, but they probably have a couple of thousand of subscribers. Hell, they might even have over the 10,000 subscriber threshold that it used to be for YouTube. But they're not growing at a clip where they got 1,000 new people within a year. They may be at 980, 9 something. And if they don't get to 1,000, and even though they may have the minutes or vice versa, they have their subscribers, but they don't have the watch time minutes, so they do a lot of short content maybe, you're done. You are done. Doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It's all about what you've done in the last year. So from that perspective, I can see the anger, the rants, the frustration, because, you know, doing content on YouTube is not necessarily a stable thing. I mean, hell, again, look at the stuff that's changed with ad revenue in YouTube. People have been losing ad revenue and haven't been able to recover some of that. Trying to do more frequent videos hasn't helped. Trying to change their format hasn't helped. And sometimes as time goes on, people lose this interest. They move on. They find something that entertains them more. It's not a stable business to be in unless you can be one of those lucky people who've gotten so big that you're almost untouchable because you have so many millions of subscribers that you can lose a couple 100K in a month and you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Whereas if you're a smaller person who just got your partnership, but you're still slow growing, you've taken a few years to get to that threshold to get it. Now you're being told, hey, because your growth rate's not as high as others, you got to go. And that hurts. That definitely hurts. I could see that. Now, do I think it's a bad thing that YouTube are changing their levels to this? No, I don't. It's somewhat reasonable to me, the numbers. My big problem is the pushback towards people who already have established themselves. They're basically being kicked out, and that's where I can see the anger. But if you're someone who hasn't reached that point, no, you shouldn't be mad, and you shouldn't find this hard or anything like that, because YouTube actually used to be a lot fucking harder. You used to have at least 10,000 subscribers. And I remember one time, I think they came up with the idea like you either had to have 10,000 subscribers or like 100,000 views or some ridiculous view numbers, or maybe it was you had to have both. I think at one time, 10,000 subscribers and 10,000 views, at least, or like 10,000 subscribers and 100,000 views. It was something weird. They've evolved their requirements numerous times. They've changed it several times since I've been doing YouTube, so I couldn't keep up. But now this also applies to MCN. So if you're with an affiliate and you get one of these small affiliates that try to partnership people with small numbers, they're kicking you off. They're discontinuing your partnership. They're requiring that these MCMs also I keep saying MCNs require you to reach the thresholds of 4,000 minutes. 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers as well. So there's going to be a lot of people who have partnerships through outside third parties. You're done. You're done too. And again, yeah, it does suck because some people have a sense of pride towards being able to get that someone thinks that they're worthy enough to partner with. And I looked at what my RPM thing as a chance to give me a shot if I maintain consistency. Of course, I didn't. But RPM changed their things a long time ago, and it's funny because looking back, I think RPN saw this coming. RPM. I say MCM, but I don't say MCN. I don't say RPM. I say RCN. What is wrong with me? Anyway, but I feel like Disney, once they took RPM and all of those things, they saw it coming. We're like, yeah, no, we're just gonna keep the cream of the crop, and then like if you get to that point where you're uber profitable to us, rather than you can just break us off a small chain like those guys were doing when they gave all these small people their partnership. Fine, but we're not doing the small timers anymore. We're about filling our pockets. Like getting somebody who will legit provide income So, I mean, from a business perspective, it's smart on, especially YouTube with all that's been going on, with videos and people putting up shit that has advertisers squeamish, not wanting to deal with YouTube and things like that. The Wild Wild West is truly over now. I said it a couple of years ago when they first started the YouTube Red program that, yeah, fun time was over. Don't expect YouTube to be the same. Now, I guess this is, for some people, it feels like the nail in the coffin. It's not a nail in the coffin per se, but for the old way of doing things, that's pretty much done. Now, there is, of course, positives to this because, again, you're not totally hopeless. You can try to reapply and try to see if they reevaluate things, and YouTube probably will make exceptions to some of these rules for some people. You also can just keep doing videos if you truly love doing content. You won't stop. But to be honest, let's be totally honest, people. For all the anger that you have, part of your anger is tied into the fact that you were looking for the easy way in to cash out, and YouTube's not giving you an easy way in to cash out no more. Another thing, to be honest, like I said, with my small viewership and sub count, I wasn't making money off YouTube. I was actually, if you think about it, losing money from this time and the money that I've spent uh, doing this because I love it. You know what I mean? It was an investment I made mostly for myself, and I can't lie, I would have loved the possibility of growing to a point where this could have supplemented my income, if not be my income. You know what I mean? But it hasn't gone that way so far. I mean, who knows? I may luck up and hit gold one day. That's why I probably won't stop doing it anytime soon, because beyond the luck factor, I actually like doing this. I really do like doing this. You know what I mean? So there's that. If I didn't like doing it, I wouldn't do it. I never do anything I don't enjoy do it, and I will actually stay somewhere not making money and do something to my discredit and to my detriment, because I've had jobs like that in the past where I stayed probably way too long. Like now that I think of it, that it wasn't necessarily benefiting me as financially as it should be, but I liked it and I enjoyed what I was doing. So me, I guess I'm a sadist. A lot of you guys, though, real, real talk. You want the money, you want the prestige and the ability to get paid just to make videos. A lot of people looked at it as an easy mode way of financing yourself, and it's just not like that no more. And YouTube shouldn't have probably made it to where they gave off the impression, if not the ability, for people to feel like the best thing for them to do is to jump on YouTube. They'll make some videos, one will hit and get viral, and that's it. I'm cashing in, and I'm a superstar, and it's just like I'll be paid for the rest of my life. Not like that, because we've seen many people who were quote unquote big fall off, lose viewerships, not have backup plans, and just disappear. The reality is this is entertainment of any kind. Doesn't always stay at its peak. You see it with actors, actresses, singers. Everybody loses their appeal at some point, or they are not as appealing as they were at some point. And if you don't do what you need to do to set yourself up for the time when to use a term, the music stops, you're going to be caught out in the wind. And I think that's where a lot of the anger is coming from as well. People are being caught out in the wind. People's expectations have now been dashed. The idea of what they were going to be doing at a certain point have been, dispersed. All of that stuff. And it's going to be a hard change. It's going to be a very, very hard change. Probably a good change for Google, of course, because it kind of mitigates some of the trouble that they feel like they've been getting in. The counterpoint to that, though, to me is when you look at the biggest issues that YouTube have, I find it funny that while a lot of the things that they change affect people more that are of a smaller stature. It's usually the bigger stature people who generally aren't going to take that big of a hit, or they'll take a big hit, but it's a big hit that they can absorb. Um, those are the ones who are usually the authors of YouTube's reaction and decision making as far as whether or not they need to put a stop to certain things. They need not to do this, do that. They need to change the rules and all that. It's like, think back to what's happened over the last year or two, the Logan Paul thing, the PewDiePie thing, and so on. You know, the YouTuber who they found out started doing porn, and you know, the girl who likes to show her breasts. I forget her name. All of those people are big established money makers for YouTube, and their actions, more than anything, has probably helped direct YouTube's attitude. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people also are probably mad at, because it's always the way things go. It's always, you know, the few that affect the many in the worst way. And unfortunately, the few that affect the many in the worst way on YouTube are the few who are also part of the few who have risen to a point where they have become, you know, not huge worldwide celebrities, but have some worldwide appeal um, in many ways, because you know, their internet stature is that big. Um, and it's a shame. It's a shame, but you know, business is business, and it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not gonna stop doing YouTube videos. Like, I have to stop caring um, about whether or not I'm going to make it big, and I think I have a while ago. Because, like I said, priorities and things changed in my life that I've already kind of done that. But at this point, it's just like, do what you love to do and do it the best that you can. Um, you know, hey, it is what it is. Maybe that's the wrong attitude to take. Maybe I should be kicking and screaming and ranting like other people, but nah. Because at the end of the day, I know, one, this isn't going to stop me from doing what I like to do, and two, I wasn't making money. You know, that's the misconception that a lot of us who are out here screaming, is that we weren't making money. I think, again, like I said, a lot of the blowback from those people are, they feel like things have got harder for them to get in and make money. And three, you know, there are other ways and there are other venues. YouTube isn't the only thing. Sure, it's the biggest thing right now, but it's not going to always be the big thing. That's the thing. Like I said, when it comes to entertainment, not everything stays on top forever. Some things will stay and remain relevant, but you never know. There's going to be something out there that's going to equal or surpass YouTube in the future. It always happens. You know, nobody thought that we would get past the network television stations, and it took a while, but eventually cable took over. Nobody thought we were going to get over being into cable. Streaming services come over, and they generally dominate, if not rival, cable TV to a level where you have cable TV trying to push back because they're the internet providers and try to curtail streaming services' ability to gain more consumers than they do. You know, people cutting the cord on top. So, yeah, it'll change. It'll change, and I feel like with YouTube, it'll be a faster change than it has with other things that we've seen in history. Simply because technology is going faster, people are getting more into these things. People are more willing to take a chance on creating their own thing to establish something that can become a hit, like YouTube. So I say, if you're a YouTuber and you're upset by this, just chill out, relax, revise your game plan, figure out where you want to go, and if you want to continue to do this. If this is something that you really enjoy doing, then you should continue doing it. If it was just for the money, you probably should find something else that's a lot more agreeable with what you want to do. And everybody else, you know, just figure out which side of it you're on, for real, because that's where we're at the moment with this whole YouTube thing. But it is what it is. I mean, hey, eventually, like I said, things will turn and it'll get better. If not on YouTube, somewhere else for you guys. If you truly want to do this, if you truly want to make content, because there's companies right now that are looking at YouTube and what they're doing. It's like, you know what, we can take advantage of this and find something better. So don't worry, you'll be okay. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Megas, and I'm out. Deuces.